My name is Emily Byen, and I had the honor of interviewing Mr. Cody Galligan, owner, resident, and farmer of Siembra Farm. I would love to share my journey to and at Siembra Farm, so stay tuned if you're interested. So how did I find Siembra Farm? Facebook. I searched for local farms here in Gainesville, and lo and behold, Siembra Farm. I contacted the number for Veronica, who started the farm, and she got me into contact with her husband, Cody. The next day, I began my journey to Siembra Farm. Unfortunately, the students in Colima were not able to provide me with their findings. However, I hope you find my time with Cody interesting enough. So let's meet Cody. He is 38 years old, married, and has two kids ages 5 and 9. He has been farming full-time for about 6 years now, and Cody has always had a strong craving for food and was into community gardening down in South Florida before he started to farm full-time. Then he moved up to North Florida, met others who were farming in a sustainable way. He states that he was so excited about it and just started to work on the farms, and it helped him push him in the direction of eventually becoming a full-time farmer. At Siembra Farm, Cody and company work hard to produce a variety of produce. They grow a lot of vegetables, many you probably haven't even heard of, and a few different fruit. He says that this is what farming is about. You get to break out of the standardized crops that have become. Today, you'll only see one variety of eggplant at the store, but that's not the case. Cody's favorite product is cassava. He says it's a staple food and that the seed need not to be imported. Just replant them. But let's get down to business. Siembra Farm has grown every year, so they had to become more efficient and adopt new practices, like relying on machinery and technology. Cody states, as you grow, your losses get bigger. So as a business, you can't be negligible and you have to try to minimize your losses. And after you spend all this time growing, you really have to hone in on what sells. Siembra Farm's biggest market is their CSA, or Community Supported Agriculture, and their farmers markets. This year, their best sellers are carrots and lettuce, but kale has been very popular in the previous years. Cody does say that vegetables in general are gaining popularity. However, Asian greens and collards, the more southern veggies, are harder to sell. He says that the people who typically eat the southern veggies have not gone into the organic side yet. Farming is unpredictable, which is why Siembra Farm has shied away from wholesale. They don't know how much lettuce they're going to have prior to selling them. The wholesale prices that grocery stores want are out of reach for the farm as of right now. Their neighbor, the family garden, actually is a wholesaler, but you have to eliminate costs to do this. When they grow, they put a plastic tarp on top so only the crop will grow through a tiny hole so that weeds aren't able to grow. Once you're selling that cheap, you have to compromise. But is this considered organic? People are saying that it shouldn't be considered organic because the plastic is adding the off-gassing and doing something to the soil. You're covering every square inch of your field of soil with plastic, which is chemically based. It is allowed in organic right now, but every year they change the regulations. It seemed like Cody swayed away from that idea. But that doesn't mean they don't have a great relationship. They share knowledge, equipment, and a few laughs as well. Cody says he just bikes on over if he needs something. There has also been collective buy-in projects in the bigger farming community. Cody says that they all get together, and if they can get above $10,000 of purchasing range, it opens up a different category of buying. They can bulk order, but Cody says it's a pain in the butt since he has orchestrated most of them. He jokes and says that he should be paid for doing so. Back to business. The gross income from the CSA and farmers market are about the same, but their profit for the CSA is larger since they have less waste. If you take $1,000 worth of product to the market and only sell $700, then you lose out. If the market on a particular day is hot, it might damage the product and some stuff is not sellable after the market. The product that was not sold goes into the CSA boxes, or they are donated to Grace Marketplace and St. Francis House, which are both locally based. Cody loves the predictability of the CSA sales, but loves the interaction at the farmers market as well. Siembra Farm does not really advertise themselves. Their best tactic is word of mouth. They have many returning customers, even some from their grand opening. Siembra Farm is certified organic, which adds a little competitive advantage over some farms. Average customer spends about $12 to $13 per transaction at the farmers market. The CSA box costs $30 for about 12 pounds of assorted veggies. This is cheap compared to a $3 single cucumber at Publix. They also sell to a few local restaurants like The Top. However, all of their sales aren't necessarily local. They have some restaurants in Jacksonville who buy their products as well. They have also started traveling to a Jacksonville-based farmers market this year. A client in Orlando also drives and hits multiple farms in North Florida and collects products to resell in his store in Orlando. According to Cody, the wholesaler, meaning the distributor, could also be the food processing industry. They have the greatest purchasing power in price negotiations and typically set the prices. However, there has been a greater local interest in organic. The final consumer has had a positive effect on our prices as well. Their payday. They get paid when it happens, meaning the day of farmers market and each CSA week. Money from restaurants takes a couple weeks, but Cody says that he doesn't really have a salary. There will be weeks or months in the off season where he isn't getting paid. Fortunately, Veronica, his wife, works on and off the farm so they can get by off her small income as well. Been a lot of years where he's had to borrow money from his mom. He says she's very cool about it and knows Cody will pay it back. He laughs and says, at least the money's for organic food, not a sports car. As a farm, it is inevitable to have some sort of waste. Cody predicts that 20% of their product is wasted, especially due to blemished products. It is hard to give an exact number since not everything is picked from the field. The worst waste is when they picked it, sprayed it, and bunched it because now there is added value. Aside from waste, Cody says that people being inconsistent is an issue for them, especially when there are other farms in Gainesville that are more established, like Swallowtail. He says they're like local celebrities and almost like Gainesville royalty. They started just a couple years before Siembra, but they had 200 CSA members immediately. The pressure to provide a great product wasn't there for them. He says that they could put anything in their CSA and people would buy them. People like to pat themselves on their back that they support local farms. Siembra also benefits from this phenomenon, but there's more pressure to add real value to their customers. Besides Swallowtail, Frog Song Organics and their neighbor, the Family Garden, are their main competitors. Although there aren't many, they do base their prices off of competition, which means they raise their prices often. Everyone else is expensive according to Cody, so even if they wanted to keep prices low, they can't. How long does it take for product to reach the consumer? It depends on the crop, of course. Radishes are fast, maybe taking just a month. Then you have cauliflower, which could be 3 months, and cassava could be 6 months. The average cost they have is the electricity to run their small cooler. A bigger cooler is definitely on their wish list. He says that it's like Tetris in there after they harvest. A more secure and better processing area is also on their wish list. He feels as if it is a little rustic and adding a concrete floor would help a lot. Washing the vegetables is hard because it tends to get muddy. And perhaps one day they will be able to better track their data and figure out what their true losses are. It is easy to lose track of what is in demand so that they don't put out an unpopular product. He really just wants to get through the season. He says you gotta keep everything going. He wants to promote a more cooperative and smooth work environment like decision making. People are always wanting direction on what they need to be doing. He wants to smooth the structure of the farm out so that everyone knows their strengths and weaknesses, which will allow for a smoother farm. Eventually, he would like to profit share so that people have more sense of ownership. Cody says that anyone could actually start a farm, but he doesn't recommend anyone doing so. It's crazy, but he loves it. And there you have it. I hope Cody has provided some insightful thoughts, and I encourage you to go to your local's farmers market. Look up some local farms while you're at it. But all in all, I enjoyed my time spent with Cody. So much that I got his number so I can volunteer at Siembra over the summer. Join me and thousands of others who crave a deeper and closer connection to their food. And this is Emily. That's a wrap for Siembra Farm.